Good day, everyone. So today I'm going to share with you a discussion about complex numbers. So when you say complex numbers, it means that you are involving imaginary numbers. So for example, here you have a number such as 3 plus 4i, I here means the imaginary number, is called a complex number. It is the sum of two terms, each of which may be 0. So the real term, not containing I, is called the real part, and the coefficient of I is the imaginary part. So therefore, the real part of 3 plus 4i is 3, and then the imaginary is 4. So basically, a number is real when the coefficient of I is 0 and is imaginary when the real part is 0. So for example, 3 plus 0i is equal to 3. So therefore, it is a real number. So if you have 0 plus 4i, therefore 4i here, because it's the result of this is 4i. So it means 4i is an imaginary number. So having introduced a complex number, the ways in which they can be combined, addition, multiplication, division, etc., need to be defined. So the term, the algebra of complex numbers. So you will see that in general, you proceed as in real numbers, but using if your value of your imaginary number or the imaginary or the I is raised to 2, it means it is equal to negative 1. So again, negative as 1 is equal to I raised to 2. So let's try this. Addition and subtraction of complex numbers. So addition of complex number is defined by separately adding real and imaginary parts. So basically, if I ang value sa first term, og I ang value sa second term, kato lang i-add. Right? And then kung ang real part, simply add or subtract it. So you have z is equal to a plus bi, then you have w equals to c plus di. So then you have z plus w is equal to a plus c, then plus yung may I, so you have b plus d times, the quantity of b plus d times I. Similarly to subtraction as well. So parang similar lang kasi add and subtraction, similar lang ang ways to deal with this. So let's have some example to further understand this. So let's try to express each of the following in form of x plus y times I. So I here is the imaginary. So given we have 3 plus 5i plus the quantity of 2 minus 3i. So basically, group mo siya, pero pwede mo natin to i-regroup. So with that, we will have, I will just write it here. I will write the given here for letter A. So we have 3 plus 5i, then plus the quantity of 2 minus 3i. So the thing here, we need to group the real part and the imaginary part. So we will have 3 plus 2, right? This is the real part plus, right? 5i minus 3i. Okay. So you will get 5, right? 5 plus 2i, right? 5i minus 3i, that's 2i. Just simply add or subtract it. Now, let's have the b. So, ang b is quantity 3 plus 5i, quantity plus 6. So, we have 3 plus 5i plus 6. So, simply, gigroup mo lang man siya dito, gigroup lang siya dito, but still, we could get rid of the parentheses. Because if you try to get rid of the parentheses, wala man din mahitabo. So, you have 3 plus 5i plus 6. So, you will have 9 plus 5i. Now, let's have C. So, we have 7i minus the quantity of 4 plus 5i. So, here you will distribute the negative symbol to each term, right? So, inside the parentheses, so you have 7i minus 4 minus 5i. And then, combine the real and imaginary. So, imaginary ta. So 7i minus 5i, that is equal to 2i minus 4. So this is now our final answer. Again, box your final answer. Now, let's try to proceed to multiplication of complex numbers. So in multiplication of complex number, it's similar to how you multiply two your real numbers, but basically you need to consider the value of the I squared, because the value of the I squared is equal to -1, right? So let's have these example. Let's try to simplify in the form of x plus yi. So let's have the first example. We have a, this is equal to 3 times 2 plus 4 sub I, right? So 3 times the quantity of 2 plus 4 sub I. With this one, you just simply distribute 3 to each term. So you will have 6 plus 12 I. So this is the final answer. So let's have letter B. So we have 5 plus 3i times I. So basically, you need to distribute I to each term. So you will have 5i plus 3i squared. So take note, I squared is equal to -1. So you will have 5i plus 3 times -1. So we will have to put it in the form na x plus yi. So you will have -3 plus 5i. This is now our final answer. So let's have letter C. So we have quantity 2 minus 7i times 3 plus 4i. Right? So simply multiply it using FOIL method. So you have here 2 times 3, that's 6. Then you will do the outermost term. So you have plus 4 times 2, that's 8i. Then the innermost term. So you will have -21i, and then last term, so you will have -28i squared. So you will have now 6, 8i minus 21i, that is -13i. Then we have minus 28i squared. Take note again, I squared is equal to -1. So we need to substitute -1 to I squared. So you have 28 times -1. So you have 6 minus 13i plus 28. Then 28 plus 6, that's 34. So you will have 34 minus 13i. So this is now the final answer. Here, let's have the division of complex numbers. So in division of complex number, you will deal with the complex conjugate. So complex conjugate will be obtained by changing the sign of the imaginary part. So if you will have z is equal to a plus bi, the complex conjugate of it, or you could say it's z bar, right, or z prime or z bar. So you have z bar is equal to a minus b sub bi. So basically, you need to change the sign of the imaginary part.